I saw no shadow. I looked around, searched every building and home that I found. I saw no shadow, but felt the glow, the warmth inside me.
Are we live? Is that a false start or an actual start, Chas? Hey, look at that. Oh my gosh, what a false start we have had. Chas, that in 101 episodes, that's the first time you like really threw me for a loop with that start. You're like,
he literally stops. He's like, all right, I'm going to start the countdown. You're live. In 3, 2, 1.
and then he goes, and you're live. It's like, wait, what? Chaz, let's respectfully, let's drop that starting cadence. Let's go back to the normal one. That was working really great. Anyways, what's going on, all you beautiful nerds out there? Welcome back to another episode of the Burly Fishing Podcast. It's an episode with my nerd friends, and we go live. And tonight we do have a guest. He is fashionably late. Chaz is actually working with him behind the scenes right now to get him to pop in. So we figured we'd kick off the show anyways. Why keep you guys waiting? I'll just talk to you. You know, just you and me, and Paul's here too. And
Hey.
we're gonna catch it. Oh, hi. And then we're gonna catch up on kind of some of the things that we've been up to while we wait for our awesome guest, which is BFO baits. So if you guys saw us unbox a triple threat a little while back on the channel, you might recognize that. Also, Paul posted on Instagram. It's a super sick bait. So it's like a 2 and 3 in 1 rather kind of bait that you can break in half, and you can either rig it the whole thing together. It's like 2 little craw baits, or you can Ned rig both of them. Regardless, they had some really unique shapes, some awesome colors, and I can hear myself now. So it seems that we have our guests in here.
Hey guys, sorry, I've never used this app before.
Hey, no worries.
The sad thing is I'm in the IT industry, so I'm doing my day job. So
all good, man. Just kill our stream behind you there so it doesn't echo.
Okay.
Not that I don't love hearing myself twice. I'm sure my guests love it too. Look at him, he's making baits right now. I love it. This guy just he don't stop. All right, well, while he's doing that, let's kind of catch up with maybe some news and noteworthy here. So you guys, we've got a few things that are important to note for today. The decal sales are done. We sold 50 of them. That was like sort of our setup, as we plan to have 50 of them to go out. And you guys killed it. You helped us with that pre-sale. We nailed it. We sold all 50 decals. So thank you so much for anybody that picked one up. We may or may not do a future sale on that, so just kind of stay tuned. And just so you know, today's actually the last day that you can pick up a Ned Rig Nerd shirt. So link is in bio. Child's going to share it in chat right now. If you guys want a Ned Rig Nerd shirt, today's the last day. Done with the pre-sale. We're not going to offer them anymore after this. We're on to different shirts. Maybe not better, maybe close to, maybe at least equally as valuable, in my opinion.
I would say equal. I think that we can do as good. It's hard to promise topping the Ned Rig Nerd shirt. I like.
Yeah, it's real. I'm not going to promise that.
That could be a tattoo. I mean, it's that good.
I think maybe I will get that one done. That sounds fun. I'm looking for a new tattoo. Why not?
The colors are astonishingly cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad.
Grayscale, it would be still lit.
All right, guys. So if you want to pick one of those up, do so. We appreciate you. Anybody who's contributed and helped out with the decal sales, with the shirt sales, you guys are awesome. For tonight, you know, if you want to do any super chats, that's always on, so you can do that, or you can join our memberships down below. We're going to do a members only live next Tuesday, the 15th. That's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern. Same place, same time of day, but not same day. Right, so come join us for that. If you are the Shark Deucers or the Snorlax crew, you get to hang out with us. We'll even bring you in on video. It's an absolute blast. If you guys haven't been on one before, just ask anybody with a badge on their name and chat here. They are awesome. They're super fun to hang out with, and I'd love to see more of you guys in there, just really building up this community. So appreciate you guys a lot for that. And other than that, what else we got on here? Next TBD artwork. We're working on some artwork. Let's this guy go.
sorry about that.
No worries.
I'm working. Dude. I'm working.
It's all good. All right. Dude, he's just making stuff. I love it. This is like in action. You guys just look at the screen right now, and you are
Yeah,
literally
it's
seeing how it's
don't
done.
look, it's a mess. I'm in the middle of moving to a big shop, and I've got everything kind of crammed in here and trying to get I have a flurry of orders that I'm working on. I'll show you some here in a second. But I was in the middle of this and I can't stop, so I'm making some watermelon red water dogs and something else I call them a saltworm with red tails for an order. So
Okay. Well, cool. This is like, an inside look at the gig, you guys. This is going to be an interesting one, I gotta say. And the man don't quit. He's just getting it done. I appreciate that. All right. So other than that, you guys, there's some TBD artwork on the new shirt. We'll let you know as soon as it's done. We're figuring out something to do with a 1/4 ounce at a time by Finn Diesel. So stay tuned for that. And there's, of course, a lot more in the works. Yeah. And again, if you guys want to join our membership, just click join below. You can learn more about that. And we like to announce our new members whenever they pop up on our shows. Other than that, Paul, we got some stuff to catch up on from the past weeks.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't watched haven't seen the channel lately, we finally did make it to Canada. No one was arrested, nothing was confiscated.
Almost.
We still had issues, but we did make it through.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this: chasing perch, I thought was going to be a lot.
Mondos.
Yeah, but I thought like in my mind, knowing what I know about Lake St. Clair and open water, where we were going,
Mm-hmm.
I had it in my mind as one thing, and it was something totally different once I saw how far out people were actually fishing. Like I
Miles.
could not believe, like on a four-wheeler, we were not going fast, but on a four-wheeler, what, we were on there for 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was like 15 minutes out to the spot, like straight out into the middle of the lake. So we were easily out there a mile and a half.
No, we
maybe
were
the
easily two to
second
3 miles
day.
out.
Second day could have been 2-3 miles. I'll go
And
for 2.
we walked a mile on the US side, walked another mile back, caught
Yep.
no fish, marked a few, and then it was like we walked probably 2 miles the next day, or that same afternoon, walked 2 miles back and fished 10
Oh, yeah.
minutes, like 13 feet from shore. And then we rode out the next day and finally did some actual big water ice fishing. It was a ton of fun. Huge thanks to Jamie, my neighbor, who took us out. It was, I mean, he made us dinner, kept us warm, heated up all of our clothes on the wood stove, and also put us on some big perch, and it was a ton of fun. We really did have a lot of fun. Mojo Kirk is asking if we caught some big perch. We did. There is a video. I will say this: I did not do that trip justice on the video because one, we had a tough time day one, but two,
True.
I edited that video. I didn't get it started because of work and life the way it is right now. I did not get started on that video till 10:30 the night before. I was missing like 2 or 3 critical clips, and I was exhausted. I think I finished that video at like 1:30 a.m. and I was completely gassed. And then I had to finish it like in the middle of work the next day. It wasn't awful, but it was not my best work. So yeah.
Yeah, we were potentially still unboxing the official Burly hype man, aka everyone's hype man. We're potentially still unboxing his box from like a month ago. Where he's done just a million things. Speaking of a million things, Rockablade sent us a box, and that's going to be in tomorrow's unboxing, y'all. And I'm wearing a hat, and I can't do justice by the colors, but Mrs. Rockablades made Paul and I hats. She made Paul a black and blue one, which is pretty sweet.
That is all I saw was a shadow, but yeah, we get it.
Totally. And this one is chartreuse and copper. It's a copper-truce hat. Are you kidding me? My daughter said I look like a bumblebee, and I was like, yeah, you're right.
I said he looked like Curious George's hippie like cousin or nephew or something.
There's a hippie cousin or nephew or something?
There is now. It's you. It's the yellow and like the Curious George, what looks like brown on the screen.
I'm the new guest star on the show. All right. So yeah, coming up though, you guys, there's unfortunately we're approaching the mid-season weird changing thing. So potentially, ice gets thinner, gets warmer, stuff comes up. I'm actually going to Florida in less than a week now. Next Wednesday, I'll be heading to Florida. Don't know if I'll be able to do any fishing. Of course, I'd love to. My goal is actually to potentially meet up with Don from Autism Anglers, which would be super cool because they are in, I think, the Winter Park area. They're like just north of where my in-laws live. So I'm going to try and hit them up, for one, because they're awesome. For two, drop them off some Ned Rig Nerd stuff. For three, it's a write-off, baby, if I can do some business out there. So that's going to be an ideal situation. This weekend, Paul, are we going out? You and me? Or just me?
We could. I
You could?
have two spots that I want to check out. So this is
Yep.
actually pretty cool. So I have two spots I really want to look at. One, I got some local intel from the old fly shop. There's a fishing hole that I found that has been part of a correctional facility for like 30 years. And you were not able to fish it. It was not public water. There's signs all over that are like, this is a correctional facility, like, get out of here, we'll shoot you. That has changed. That has changed. That is now
You want to fish a prison yard?
It was sold to the DNR.
Oh God.
And I know there's guys out there ice fishing right now, and I can promise you they're probably catching the largest bluegill that are probably available for you to catch locally. I would really like to fish that spot. The other spot is a lake that I was hunting. I discovered while hunting like last year. I think it's been over a year now. It's been maybe 2 years, and it has very limited. It has no public access whatsoever, but it's on public land. The back half of it is private. There's only one dock, and by dock, I mean there's like nothing there. Are we going to see these baits?
Ooh, okay. It's a little curly tail on the end that's highlighted red, so it's watermelon red. That's sick. A little highlighter tail.
And this
watermelon red, but we call them a saltworm. This happens to be a 5 3/4 inch. I also have it in a lot bigger 7-inch. Bigger diameter stuff, but this guy wanted 3 different colors with different color tails. I've got one here that's he wanted what I call black oil, black and blue with blue tails. You see that? So
okay.
I do a lot of custom work stuff.
Yeah, I was actually just about that. So how much custom work do you do? Like what % of your business is like custom work versus like hitting up the standards that are on your website?
I would probably say 60%.
60% custom?
Yeah.
So have you ever done? Go ahead.
Again. I got guys that I do baits for under NDA, non-disclosure agreement. I got some guys that they see a color on the website and they say, hey, can you add this flake to it? Sure. Yeah. It doesn't hurt me any. I'm still making the bait and the color. I have to shoot it, so it doesn't hurt to add an extra silver string to it or something, right? So I do quite a bit of custom work actually. It's that's the biggest thing on if you look at my website, I have over 40 something different types of baits. I have over 40 standard colors alone, plus the custom legs and tails on a lot of baits. Like I showed you there on the saltworm has custom tails to it. Here's one. This is one of my big sellers. We call them. I'll bring it over here to the camera so you can see. This is called Senior Frog.
Yeah, we like that.
And this is there's a video on my website on YouTube that you can see, of where I'm swimming it in a fish tank, so you can see what it really does in the water. Yeah. But yeah, it's a little bit extra work to cut the legs and put them in there, because this bait doesn't actually come with a separate mold to shoot the legs and everything. So you have to shoot the leg, shoot the bait in chartreuse, take it out, cut it, put it back together, and then shoot it with, in this case, green pumpkin. So there's a lot of extra work just to shoot a bait like that. So
when you're working under NDA, When you're working under NDA, is that with like a company and you're making something that they're gonna then sell, or is that like working with a pro that's like, don't make the color that I think is fantastic for anybody else?
That's NDA, yes. I've had some bait shops approach me that they want me to make a color specifically for them.
Okay.
And things like that, and I do some bulk work. Matter of fact, here's what I'm working on. This is a bulk bag. It's about 60. I call them danglings, right? Everybody calls them stickworms. Let me bring the camera over here. But this is just this is a 5-inch dangling. Also have a 7-inch, and
Wow.
I gotta finish filling this up. I've been sidetracked. One of my pro staff, he doesn't care about the labels or anything. Just send him a big bulk bag, right? So I do a lot of things like that. I'm fixing to add the bulk bags out there to the website where people can order just a big old bag of them. But yeah, back to the website as far as customization, I also have 9 different scents to choose from, including bacon.
Oh, wow.
And I get a lot of orders for bacon.
What? Hold on. So wait, wait, I need to hear more about the scents. So we've had a few bait manufacturers on the site. And I'm always curious about like, how are we coming up with these scents? And are we like buying them from somebody, or like are we a chemical engineer and we're like making up our own, or are we
Or
just
a mad scientist?
or are we just like, look, garlic and water and
No,
sugar?
I don't have that much time on my hands. No, I get them from a supplier, a couple different suppliers actually. But I have, let's see, I've got anise, bacon, coffee.
Wait, anise, like the spice?
Yeah, anise, like black licorice type,
Yeah.
Coffee. What did I say? Craw, earthworm, fish food, garlic, squid, and then no scent. Which a lot of guys ask for no scent because they have their own homemade brew, right? That they use themselves.
We know some guys. They want to soak that in like power bait juice or whatever, or like
Yeah. So but I have guys ask me all the time, well, what scent do you recommend? And I tell them, I said, listen, any bait that I sell that's a worm, I don't care if it's a little Ned rig, all the way up to the 17-inch Texan. I've got a 17-inch finesse worm. Believe it or not, we call it a Texan.
Finesse? Did you just say finesse worm?
Well, it's probably like a trick worm, like a real thin.
Get one here.
It's probably like a real thin trick worm.
I mean, I hear you.
It's not that thin to be 17-inch, but hold on here. I've got a box of them over here, and I'll show you.
There is a mad pile of baits right there. That's like Paul's front of his kayak.
There is the Texan.
Holy smokes!
First time I caught one, I just wacky rigged it like this, and that fish hit it on the way down.
Was it on a ledge or like an overhang?
Finesse worm.
That fish was like, "Oh, cool, a dying anaconda. I'll have that."
Yeah. So like here's some. I'm piling stuff up on the table here, but I shot these for the pictures on the website. So this is the 7-inch version of the assault worm. And one of the things that I do on the website, and you can see it right here next to the little 5.75, right? Mm-hmm. The 7 is much thicker, and I can actually do a core shot on that. Anyway, like I said, this place is a total disaster area. But one of the things that I do when I say I offer 40 different colors, I offer every bait in every color. Okay, so really? You may see some manufacturers, right? They'll say bubblegum. I call it pink lady, right? And you can only get that in a stickworm. I offer it in every bait I have. Nice. Senior Frog is available in pink lady, right? Here's another one that's a really big seller. We call it a wacky worm. Let me bring it over here. This is a wacky worm.
Oh yeah, yep.
As you can see here.
I think we got a few of those. Nice.
Yeah. So this is a 5-inch. I sell it in a 3-inch as well. I sell every bait, like I said, in every color. There are some exceptions on the assault worm and the dinglings. I have a colors that are called crystal whatever, right? Like crystal black royale, right? Where I shoot the tails of the worms in a black royale, and then the body is clear with blue string, right? The red raider, for example, is black with red flake.
I like it.
So the tails are shot with the red raider color. The body is clear with crystal red string.
Nice.
Make sense?
I
Yeah,
like it.
it comes out pretty cool. So, but yeah, like I said, it's I do a lot of customized work. I'm getting more and more to a lot of stores. I try to stay with the mom and pop shops for the most part. I don't like doing the big box right now. It's just too much hassle for me to do that. But I also sponsor 7 different high schools throughout the nation. Matter of fact,
wow.
just last year I sent a bunch of baits over to a high school in South Carolina or North Carolina. I always forget. Sorry, it's on the website. But
The Carolinas.
they had 5 teams on their bass team, on their bass club, right, for the high school. They were fishing a tournament with 98 teams total. The 3 top teams from this high school were using my baits, and they finished 1st, 3rd, and 18th.
Holy
And the
smokes.
big bass was caught on my water dog.
Nice.
That was pretty cool. That was
the water dog.
So I was going to ask
Oh
you
yeah,
about
it is water dog season right now. I can't tell you how many of these things I've shot in the past couple of weeks because everybody's getting ready for water dogs.
So I was going to ask you about the water dog and.
Well, hang on. Before you do, Paul, our chat is requesting that you move closer to the camera. And I think we might take this time because we missed it. Yeah, this camera. I think we missed our opportunity in the beginning. Normally we like a nice introduction. So would you mind taking a quick second, introduce yourself, talk about BFO baits real quick so everybody knows who we get a chance to talk to tonight.
Yeah, let me grab a water dog while I'm here at it so everybody can see it. So my name is Jim Covington. I'm the owner of BFO Baits. And I've been around for a couple years now. I'm fixing to move out of my luxurious 2-car garage here because I've been bursting at the seams for months, and my wife wants to put her car back in here, right? And so I'm moving into about a 1,400 square foot shop, not far from here. I've also got my boat in there, but it'll definitely give me a chance to expand. I'm planning on buying some large production machines as well, so I can do larger runs. I'm a veteran. I offer a lot of discounts on the website, for if you're a veteran, active duty, first responders, senior citizens, 55 and older. So they all get 10% discounts and things like that. Yeah, I've been doing this a little over a couple of years now, and I've grown from what originally started as 1 gladiator table here and 1 microwave and just a couple molds. I think it was a Senor Frog that I come out here and shot that, took the picture, put it on Facebook, and within 32 minutes, I always remember that, 32 minutes I sold 3 bags. And it's been gangbusters ever since. When I got started, because I'm an avid fisherman myself, I fish tournaments and things like that. And when I decided I wanted to do this and get away from my regular day job, I eventually I watched a bunch of videos online on how people were doing it and stuff, and I made a conscious decision that I was not going to make any color like anybody else. So I learned how to do this from watching videos and stuff online. And then when I came out here, I actually just started putting color and glitters together, and boom, right? Have I had some misses? Sure. I go over to the bucket, they get ground back up, and I have what is called Frankenbaits, and I sell a lot of these. Matter of fact, here's some right here. This happens to be what we call the Senta stick.
Oh yeah,
Now
we
this
love
is
that
a
one.
pretty cool bait
My
because
favorite bait. I
if
got
you
one
see
right
the
here.
legs there, you know, this makes a beautiful stand-up Ned rig like that,
Ooh,
right?
yeah.
Fish it upside down because you can
Yep.
see how the legs are all, you know, angled that way. I even fished it backwards like this Texas rig. But this is
Nice.
a Frankenbait, right? It's just a mix of whatever I had left over didn't work, you know, leftover sprues. I put them in a big bucket. I have a shooting star system here, and I run them through a meat grinder, grab handfuls of it, heat it up, whatever comes out. It's usually somewhere around like this color. But the very first fish I caught with this color was on a water dog out on Lake Fork. And
Nice.
this is, like I said, this is the water dog.
Love that thing. That thing is sick.
Yeah, and this is, you know, and people ask me all the time, let me put this back over here. People ask me all the time, you know, well, how do you fish this? And I was telling them, you know, think of this as a finesse bait, right? You want to, I put it on a Tokyo rig actually,
Okay.
just to keep it off the bottom, right?
Yeah.
And you throw it out, and I use like the slowest reel I got, usually like a 5.4 to 1 or something like that. And I throw it out past a bed if I see a bed over there, and then I just slowly pop it across, just working across there. This is not really meant to just, you know, burn and churn type thing. This really is a finesse type fishing. So you just work it across the beds. Matter of fact, when I caught that fish on the Frankenbait color, like I was telling you about, I was just swimming along the shore on my off the edge of my boat, and I was looking to see what it would look like. And this bass came up from underneath my boat and just damn near beached himself. He hit it so hard. And it's funny, it scared the crap out of me. But you know what? For a little, you know, about a 1.5, maybe 2 pounder, he was hungry.
Holy
Wow.
But I've caught a lot of bass on it ever since, and not just during, you know, the spawn. I fish these things year round. You know, when I was growing up as a kid, you know, you would go out and we'd go out and catch them, put them in a bucket, you know, and we'd fish them. You know, you can't get them anymore. The bait shops can't get them. In some states have made it illegal. So
we've actually talked about how that's like an old style bait that's like sort of making a comeback. And it's been like re-released a few times now, and has sort of like making a comeback. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. So
yeah, one of the new baits that I have, relatively new baits that I have. This is what I call a flat 8-inch flat bottom worm. This happens to be in the green apple color. Like I said, I shoot all the baits in all the colors. So when I can here and I get an order for a color, if I need the picture on another bait, then I shoot them so that I could just take the pictures and get the updated, you know, the website updated with it. And then this is my newest bait, and I call this a water dragon. It's a little 6-inch bait. You can see curled tail like this. Pretty cool little action on it. This will be really good for the spawn as well. And this has been selling pretty well.
I love it. All right, so real quick, we got a couple of super chats here. So big thank you to Tom Allred, not Alfred, and that's how I have to say your name from now on forever. Thanks for the super chat for $5, my friend. He says, do you think scent, and this is a question for you then, Jim, do you think scent is effective for masking our scent or truly attracts fish?
I think it's a combination of both, honestly. And people ask me all the time, what scent should I put on a bait? Well, I tell you, you know, if you're going to mimic a worm, like I was saying earlier, anything from like my 3-inch wacky worm all the way up to that 17-inch Texan. If it's a worm, I've got earthworm. So why not? If you're going to mimic a worm in the water, why not try to make it smell like one? The craw, you put craw, right? If it's a swim bait or you know, a jerk, you know, I got fish food, right? The rest of them, I think it's kind of like, you know, player's choice, whatever you want, right? I get a lot of guys that love using garlic, right? And so, you know, a lot of that stuff, you know, they put garlic on them. when I do the trade shows, like I'm going up to Oklahoma next week for the Mid-South boat hunting and fishing show. I'll be taking a lot of baits with me already bagged up and scented, and that's what I'll do is I'll generally put garlic on, the general creatures and stuff, because that seems to be the most popular one that sells a lot. But it really comes down to fishermen's preference, right? And like I said, I got guys, they don't want me putting scent at all on there because they have their own secret sauce, right?
Yeah. I got you. Okay. Yeah. Appreciate the info there. I think that should help a lot of guys out. I mean, that's definitely helpful. So real quick, we got another super chat before we carry on with some questions for you. This one comes from Army Outdoors 88N, one of our veteran viewers. We love this guy. So thank you so much for the super chat for $20, my friend. Says always willing to support a fellow veteran. Again, thank you for your service, Jim. And then, consider me a loyal customer, my fellow veteran brother, Army Strong. So I think you got somebody who's going to order some stuff.
Thank you very much. My oldest son is currently in the Army right now. He hit 10 years last August.
Holy smokes!
He's a combat engineer and stuff. So I always support that. I get requests for guys that are doing these special tournaments for veterans all the time, and I have no problem sending them baits, as giveaways and so forth. So
that's amazing.
Always willing to help out a veteran.
Love that.
And that's too.
And it helps if you're if they're going to a tournament and you got a shot at placing the top 3 with big bass too, so that's kind of nice.
One dog equals win.
Exactly. So I do have a question. This is a question I like to ask a lot of folks who've kind of started their own business. Where does the name come from? BFO.
I've been asked that a lot. Originally, like I said, I've been in IT for 35 years, and I started this website that my intention was to have a Facebook for bass fishermen, right? It had all the same feature sets that Facebook has got, the news feed and all that kind of stuff. And I call it bassfishing.online, BFO. So whenever you saw on the website, it said bass fishing online, it'd always say in parentheses BFO, right? And so after a while, it got to be so much work to maintain that I had already started to do the baits. So naturally, it was just BFO. But I've had guys, I do Facebook Lives a lot, right? And people watch me make baits and all that kind of stuff. And we create new colors online and things. And a lot of people who've never heard of me, they go, what does BFO stand for? Well, it's whatever you want. Bass fishing obsession, bass fishing outdoors, but no, that's what it stands for, is bass fishing online. Which,
I was waiting for you to say big effing something.
Beat your friends often.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of different ones for it.
Best friends outdoors, whatever you want, But that's where it came from. Most people, will recognize the fish logo on there, right? Which is in the background and stuff.
Well, now I'm looking at it at what feels like a rugby jersey that you're wearing, even though I know it's probably a fishing shirt.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I found this design from a company in Germany, actually, and I was like, what, that's different.
Yeah.
Right, and it's I've been packing on for the winter to stay warm. So
that's what we do, my guy.
Yeah. But yeah, it's to get, when I started the business, like I said, it's just been something that's growing every month. I mean, it's insane how fast this business has grown for me personally. And I think, this COVID lockdown probably contributed to it more than anything, because people had to stay home. Well, fishermen don't stay home. They go fish, right?
Yeah.
We're already, doing social distancing. I got a 20-foot nitro. My buddy sits on the back, right? So we're always, social distancing. And I think that helped a lot of guys like me, that are, that are making baits to really grow, because as you probably saw last year at a lot of stores like Walmart, even Bass Pro Shops, they would have empty shelves. They couldn't get product. But one of the, like I said, for me, being a bass fisherman, tournament fisherman, is I always like to have an edge. So for me, it was like, that's why I make these colors. Like if you look at my watermelon red's a solid. It's not a translucent.
Yep.
Like, and I don't want to name the big three, but there's a video you can go watch on YouTube where they take a tour through this big, bait making facility, and the watermelon red is probably the same color for all three of these companies, right? And and for the longest time, I never wanted to do quote unquote watermelon red because I just wanted to be different. And I actually had just gotten this mold, and I'll bring it over here and show it to you. This is called Salamander.
Yeah.
Okay.
Salamander.
Salamander. I've got one called Larry the Lizard as well, but you can do custom legs and the tail here as an option, so you can get chartreuse. I have like 4 different colors. But anyway,
Nice.
I got this mold. And I went and shot it, and I was doing a fishing show here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area at Fun and Sun that they have every year. And the Daiwa guys were right next to me. And so I showed them the bait, and I have this color called desert green, right? And he said, you know what, if you had a little bit of red flake to that, he said, that'd be a perfect watermelon red. So I went home that night after the show, and I go, well, I don't do anything like anybody else. If you notice my baits, I do a lot of string glitter in my baits. And I do that because
I can see that in
string
your
gives better definition, right?
One has the
Especially on long baits, the string shows up better. So I added red string, bingo, there's watermelon red. Well, now I have watermelon grape, where I just put grape, colored purple string in there. I have a watermelon candy, which is, I just took out the red and put in blue and green. And then we have another one that one of my pro staff guys named Big Dog Shane Moore, we collaborated on it, and we call it Big Dog Silver Melon, and that has become one of the biggest sellers that I have.
That's the one that I was holding, and I was gonna say the silver melon. I could tell had the string in it, and I was gonna ask you about that because I specifically noticed it, and I wanted to ask about that the Mardi Gras, but
Isn't that Mardi Gras?
Yeah, but I noticed that a ton in the silver melon, and it really does. I mean, it makes a huge difference. I mean, it just doesn't even look like anything else that I've ever seen color. Like it totally.
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful color, and Shane and I have an idea for another variation on the watermelon. I'm not going to give it away until we actually do it, but it ought to be pretty good. I can picture it in my head, and I think it'll be pretty good. One of the other things, like you were mentioning about the string, like I was saying about here, you can see hopefully the Senior Frog with these legs has the chartreuse legs. Well, I don't do everything like everybody else. Like I said, my chartreuse actually has holographic string in it. So when it's in the sunlight, those little, and you hold it up here, you can see all the little string glitter in there. So it's gonna, shine in the clear bluebird sky days. I have a color called Snowflake, which is just pure white. But it's actually a white colorant with a white pearl, and I actually have some medium-sized white flake in it to give a little bit of definition. Right?
Okay.
So, like I said, I try to do things a little different than anybody else. I got guys that'll send me baits all the time and say, hey, can you make this color? And I go, no, but I'll use it as inspiration to make my version of it. Right?
You get the big effing version of it, the BFO version of it. I like it. So one thing I want to call out to people, one of I'll say the reason we reached out to you, we had one of our subscribers is a customer of yours, and was kind enough to send us some baits to open up. And what really, the Senti stick was actually the bait that kind kind of flipped my switch. I was
In midnight,
really
right? Like, is that the
it's
color?
in the Midnight Mardi Gras.
Midnight Mardi Gras.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Midnight
Yeah.
Mardi Gras,
This is
and
a
like
sick color.
that is probably one of the cooler colors I've ever seen. So for people who are wondering, it's a black, but it really is kind of actually more like a really dark smoke color, and it's got purple and then like almost like a teal teal
It's
flake in
blue.
it.
Yeah, it's the royal blue in there.
It's
That's what
incredible.
it is.
It is probably the most like, I mean, you know, you caught the fisherman, but it's the most alluring version of black that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And on the Senti stick, because you get these little appendages hanging off the side here, you can actually see right through them. I mean, it's like such a neat combo. I have to ask. So the Senti stick actually spurred on the question for me, and then when I was on your site, the water dog actually more than even made me want to know more. Like, how are you commissioning these molds? Like, because these are not like poached molds from somebody else. Like, you're not gonna
Right.
find the Senti stick, like in like a bag of Zoom. Like, it's just not gonna happen. So like,
No, I mean, and guys, I don't do custom molds. You can go buy these molds yourself.
shut up, really?
Just go out there and
Never
look.
seen
Not
that. I've
not
never
that I'm
seen these
going to.
anywhere.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't want to name names because I don't want to show favoritism because all
Sure.
the molds that I have, I like every one of these guys, right? So I don't want to,
Yeah.
call one out over the other. But no, these are all standard molds that they make. And I do have some ideas for some custom stuff, and I've talked to some of these guys, but they're like 4 to 6 months behind, right? Anything, and so what I'm planning on doing is, like I said, once I get into my new shop, I'm looking at buying one of these big production machines, right? That'll
Yeah.
hold like a 48 cavity, version of, say, the water dog, right, or whatever, and be able to do that. So. But yeah, I mean, this is all just off the shelf type of stuff. But when I look at baits, like when I look at molds, I look at it as like, wow, would that be something I'd want to fish? That's something different. Because like here in Texas, it's like everybody fishes black and blue, which I call black royale, or green pumpkin, right?
Yeah.
And they're fishing the same 5 or 6 baits that you find in the big box stores. That's it. And after a while, the fish aren't stupid. They don't get to be 10, 12 pounds, for nothing. I mean, once they felt that hook and saw that bait, they're not likely to hit it again unless it's a pure reactionary bite to it, right? So to me, having a different bait, little bit different color, and things like that, you got to show them something that they probably haven't seen before. And here in Texas, we've only got one natural lake in the entire state. Everything's stumpy reservoirs. So there are clear water, but most of it is heavily stained water anyway. So for me, it's if I can have an advantage by having a slightly different shade of something, I'll go for it. You're mentioning colors. I got a couple of them here that have been really good, and I love these colors. Now, this is what I call purple shimmer, and I don't think the camera will do it justice, but this is it's a translucent purple with some black string in it. And in the sun, and this thing looks amazing. I don't know if that
It
if you can see it
doesn't.
from the sprue there.
I can see it, but it's because I went on the
and then the other
website and I
one-
saw it. So if you haven't already, if you're watching this on YouTube, open
Best
up your
advice, go
website
to the website.
and look at that one up, because he does a great job of putting photos of all the colors up, and he really does. I mean, and they are great photos. So go take a look at some of these colors. What was that one called again?
That particular color was purple shimmer.
Purple shimmer. Go check that one out. Charles, thanks for posting the website. Go check out that purple shimmer, because I actually was going to ask you about that one specifically. That one, when I was perusing the website, came up. I was going to ask about it. It's a really neat color.
Yeah, and I'm, like I said, with having over 40 some baits, and I've actually got another one coming in this week, another craw mold. and I'll have to go and shoot that one, 40 plus times so I can get every color. And right now, you'll find that there are baits out there that don't have every color represented, on there. But I'm in the process of trying to get those done because I want to have that offering. And originally, when I first started, I was like everybody else, right? I'd take a picture, go and spend the time to crop it all out and put it against a white background. And I was like, oh my God, this is so freaking boring. I can't really tell what that color is, right?
Yep.
If you look at some of the big boys out there, their websites aren't that great when it comes to the pictures, quite honestly, right?
Yep.
So I had this wild idea. I was at PetSmart one day, and I saw this. I have this
aquarium.
little, rock mat that is for like lizards and stuff, right?
Terrarium.
Yeah. So I laid it out here on the cart. I bought some driftwood and a rock and the little plants. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if the camera will come down here. Come on.
Oh, it's right there. Look at that.
Yep.
The photo.
Yeah, it's right here. Yeah. So what I do now is I put the baits on there, take the picture, and and it's like, wow, it gives it definition and different dimensions that you could actually relate to. Right. So I think the pictures do a lot more justice than before. I mean, before trying to shoot, snowflake, right? A white. You got that with a white background. It's like, why don't I just put up a picture of a white background? Nobody would know the difference, right? Because it's supposed to be white. But
well, he's got white flake in there.
Now, when you go look at that one, or you look at caution. Caution is a beautiful color that I have. Here it is in the tube, matter of fact.
That's the color I wanted in your crappie plastic, the Nemo.
Yeah, so this is caution. So what this is chartreuse. And what I did was I have a color called autumn. That is, the colors of autumn, right? The colors of fall. And when you look at it, they're big, all different sizes and shapes of them. And it's a really cool effect. And I actually sell quite a bit of this color. It's amazing how much this sells. But now when you see it on the website with the rock background and everything, it definitely stands out more and people can really relate to it then. But, I get more compliments from guys they'll say, man, I just got my baits in the mail today. I can't believe the colors because the website doesn't do it justice, right? And now that I'm doing the rock background, they're able to see pretty close to what it's really going to look like in real life. So.
Yep.
So I got to ask, what prompted you? I mean, you talked about your love for bass fishing and running tournaments and stuff. What prompted you to get the gladiator table to begin with, the single table, and start shooting your own baits and buying molds and all this sort of thing?
Well, I needed a table. I'm too lazy to build them. Got a lot of other better things to do. So, like I said, I just bought the gladiator table and a microwave, and I have to give a shout out to Chris Jones. If everybody knows who he is from World's Worst Fishing, he does a lot of how-to videos, right?
Yep.
And I binge watched him God knows how many times, right? And him and some others, and I just had a notepad and I just started writing down, taking notes, and they would mention, oh, get this mold or this colorant from so and so and so and so, and then I go out there and do the research myself and decide, okay, do I want to buy my my glitters from this guy versus that guy, and my colorants, and then there's several different really good plastic manufacturers out there. I tried them all. I ended up going back to the first one, which is Bait Plastics. I'm very comfortable with it. So it's also a comfort level that you have, shooting this stuff. Because, when you're shooting these molds, every mold is a different size, and you have to get used to the feel of when to stop putting pressure and stuff like that, and how thick the plastic is and all that kind of stuff. It definitely feels different, even between the manufacturers of how it shoots and stuff. So
when he says shoots, just so people know, he's talking about when he's got like a big tube with like a plunger at the back, and he's actually
there's one right here.
Yeah, perfect. And he's taken this big turkey baster looking thing full of his, you know,
Push the stuff in the thing.
yeah, he's talking about putting that up to the mold and actually effectively shooting the plastic into the mold, just in case people.
Now here's one that I have. This is one of 3 from my shooting star system here, but it's a dual injector. This one happens to be a 50-50, so I can, through my 2 pots here, I can do laminates. I've also got a 60-40 and an 80-20. When I want to do
that's
big
for doing
runs,
that's for doing like a bait that's 2 colors,
Split
right?
color.
So if you want to have like a fluke that's got like a white or silver belly and like black on top, right?
yeah, exactly. That's matter of fact, I've got a water dog here where I call it pumpkin milk. So this is green pumpkin on the top and the monkey milk on the bottom.
Love it.
Right? And you can see on the tail there. Now, not every mold will shoot in a laminate. A lot of them will, some of them don't. But when you're shooting laminates, the thing with laminates is that you waste a lot of plastic. Right?
So why is that?
I mean by
like
that.
what? Yeah, why is that?
So what happens? So here's a water dog. I'm taking this water dog out. This watermelon red water dog. Take this out of the mold. So what you see hanging here, this is a runner or a sprue, right? This is wasted because now you've got 2 different colors on here. You can't really take it apart and put that one in this bin and that one that bin and reuse it, right, like that. So those go into my Frankenbait, right? I don't. Some guys just sell their leftover sprues and stuff. I reuse and make Frankenbaits, and like I said, I sell a lot of Frankenbait color. I use it a lot myself.
Well, it's like brown, right?
When I first got this 5-inch wacky worm. Again, I think it was my desert green and a Frankenbait color I was fishing that day, and I think I probably caught 5 or 6 on the Frankenbait that day in this wacky worm. I use it
The Frankenbait, the Frankenbait's got to be like mostly brown, right?
Yeah, it's mostly a weird shape of, or weird color of a brownish green, something like that.
100%.
The beauty is you get all of these different flakes, right, from all of these different shoots and stuff, right? So you may get one batch, and let me give you an example here where, because what I do is I just grab handfuls of it, right, and throw it into the pot, and so you never know what you get. So even when I'm shooting with a 50-50 injector, it is possible to get a laminate. In this case, you can see on one side, there's kind of like the normal Frankenbait color. This one's got more of a red tint to it. Okay?
Yep.
So, and that's because I had a bunch of red plastic that I had thrown into that one side, that one pot on the one side, and that's what come out. And one of my pro staff guys, he immediately got and ordered, I don't know, like 10 or 15 bags or something like that. No, it was an even number. It must have been 14. And he says, I want all the ones that came out with the little reddish hue to them, right? So he got them all except for this. This is what they call a paddle grub.
Yep.
And I got one bag of those left over here, and something else, the butt whooping paddle tail. I think I have some of those left, the butt whooping paddle tail. I got another one that's called a plumber's crack, which is a split tail worm. And so it's pretty cool. But
I feel
you guys were talking about crappie baits earlier.
I was.
Let me show you this one here. This is what I call a triple threat creature. Okay.
Oh yeah, I've got those.
Perfect little smallmouth, whatever. But the beauty is you can pinch this little guy right there, and you got yourself a little, torpedo-looking, creature right there, or you've got a nice little craw.
Yeah, so that top craw is one that I'm going to be using this year for sure, and I might just do I want to do like a whole video of like I have the top craw, Jeff gets the bottom craw, and we get to fight about it because I love that bait. That's really cool.
Whoa, why do I get the bottom craw?
Yeah, you know, it is what it is, man.
Hang on a second. Rochambeau at least for that.
Nope.
Okay.
Remember, I was just telling you guys about the crystal whatever, right? I just happened to saw that I have some here. Let me bring up the camera. So this is what we call a crystal.
Just so your camera's
where'd the
taking.
camera go?
Yep, taking a nap. He's back.
So this is the Black
Oh, that's
Royale on the
awesome.
tail, right?
Oh,
And
wow.
then the body is crystal blue. So this is a crystal Black Royale in a
Nice.
5-inch dingling.
I've never
By the
seen that.
way, chat has gone nuts tonight, pun intended, about the whole dingling name. There's quite a few inventive names I could say that I saw in chat a ways
Well,
back.
you know, I don't want to carbon date myself, but back in the day, there was a very popular song that came out. This was before FM radio even came out.
Mhm.
It's called My Ding-a-Ling.
Really?
No, I am not kidding. There was a song. Look at, I can't remember if it was Chuck Berry or somebody like that did this song, and it's a parody song, but it's called My Ding-a-Ling. Listen to it; it's pretty funny.
I'm gonna
and-
be careful googling that. Just so
I was about to say you might get some erroneous.
Well, you know what? What was funny is, you know, for a while
It's
I
Chuck
was
Berry. That's
Chuck Berry. Yeah, Chuck Berry. Listen to the song; it's pretty funny.
Let's save it for
But
later.
anyway, yeah. You got to do that one off camera. Anyway, I was on a call one day with Shane, Big Dog Shane Moore, and I said, you know, I need to change the names of these things, right? And so we come up with that split tail worm that you see on there. It's called the plumber's crack. You know, the butt whooping paddle tail. You know, the dinglings and so forth. And you know, it was I had a Facebook store, right?
Mhm.
It automatically syncs with my back-end website. And I would get these emails damn near every night. They were saying, hey, I violated
The community guidelines.
Because, you know, because of the names, a saltworm, right? Oh my God, they went nuts on that one. They don't like that one. But then the next night when it syncs, it wouldn't complain about it. So, you know, I don't know.
That's hilarious.
And I don't care. I mean, it's, you know, it's all fun, but
So how many?
you know,
Hold on. You said you work in IT for your day job, which
Yeah.
is why you have this robotic camera that does a better job than I do of recording stuff. And I'm wondering, how many hours like a week are you shooting baits to a point where like are you getting close to a point where like you're no longer going to do IT, or are you no longer doing IT anymore?
that's, yes. Let me put it that way. That was the reason why I started the job. Like I said, I don't want to carbon date myself, but I'll be 64 years old here in May, right? And I figure, well, you know, I'm not going to be able to do this IT job, you know, forever. I'm not going to be able to go out and, you know, launch a boat and stuff by myself forever. You know, I had to face the facts that eventually I'm going to be too old to do certain things. And I wanted something that would also help, you know, supplement my Social Security in the old age, right? I have no intention of retiring at 65, by the way. But my point, my goal was to, you know, just, you know, be able to keep the business going to help supplement my Social Security and everything. And then the past year, it's been screw IT. I don't want to, you know, I'm done. I want to do this, right? I want to work for myself and everything. And it's a full-time job in itself on days because, you know, I'll be in here till 10, 11 o'clock at night. I'll be here on weekends, and you know, if I'm not on the lake on a tournament, then I'm in here shooting. But I would rather do this, you know, with all this. And you see, I have a padded floor here and stuff to walk on, but I'd rather be doing this than sitting inside, you know, watching television. You know, I want to keep active, so this keeps me active. Matter of fact, I guess I'm going to be more active because I just got an order. So,
Nice.
and that's the way it usually goes, you know. Even when I do like the Facebook lives and stuff, this guy from San Antonio, and he's ordering wacky worms, three different bags of wacky worms. So
There you
it's,
go.
but no, it's you know, it's just for the love of fishing, you know, as well. I like doing this. I like the creativity part of it. I've always been kind of artistically inclined when it comes to drawing and stuff like that growing up as a kid, and of course my parents wanted me to get a an art degree and stuff like that. But once I found out what girls really were, then I gave up the drawing pencils and stuff. And so that so when I came out here to start doing debates, like I said, I purposely did not follow anybody's recipe,
Mm-hmm.
right, to make debates. Matter of fact, when most of the videos that I would see, the guys would say, "Oh, use so and so's, color from
Right.
whatever company." I went with somebody else, right? Matter of fact, I use baked plastics colorants for 99.9%. Simply because when I made my first order of plastic and everything, it was easier because it was all one shop, right? It is one big order.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys are great. I mean, I place an order, they ship it out the next day, and that kind of stuff. So for me, it was more of a convenience thing. And so, when I do my colors, maybe that's why I have different colors than what other people are used to seeing, because I don't follow, the tradition of, following what everybody else is trying to do when it comes to this. And I
So
do it
when
on
you
purpose
are,
because I want to have
go
an
ahead.
advantage on the water just like anybody else.
Oh, for sure.
I
And
like
I
it.
mean, and I respect that too, just from somebody who likes to tinker. That's the fun, man. I mean, like, yeah, you're gonna mess up 75% of the time, but when you get one right and you did it because you were just like messing around and figured it out yourself, it's like 100,000 times more satisfying.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have I guess what would be called my signature color is mouthwash. And for a long time, I had a picture of Senior Frog in mouthwash on the front of the website, right?
Yep.
And I don't know how many people I've seen try to copy that already, you know.
Bunch of dorks.
And yeah, and I remember
Robert.
one night I was here doing a Facebook Live, and I was actually supposed to be shooting some mouthwash for an order, right? So I was showing that, and so I was busy talking, and I come over here and I grab what I thought was the right color powder, ended up grabbing something else, and when I mixed it, I was going, what the hell? Well, now we got a color called spearmint. I sell the crap out of spearmint color. It's great, but it's the exact same formula, same glitters. It's just a different colored powder, and it's like bingo, spearmint.
That's funny.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny how a couple of these colors have been done by accident. I just grabbed the wrong color and then going, great, this looks fantastic, but crap, now I got to go mix more plastic for this order because I screwed it up.
You need to come up with a new story where you're like, yes, I was in the shower and struck by inspiration lightning, and now I have made.
Yeah. I'm sure that'll work. Yeah. But it's it's for me it's something that keeps my mind in a creativity mode with doing the colors. Like I said, Shane Moore, one of my pro staff guys, he come up with an idea that I like. That's a variation on the watermelon color, the watermelon reds. That we'll be doing once I get moved to the shop, and I'm hoping we can move in this weekend because of the severe weather that we had through the Dallas-Fort Worth area here last week and everything. We're just now getting ready to paint and put the flooring in the little main entrance and the bathroom area there. And then we'll be able to really, move all of this stuff in, spread out. I'll be able to have room room for more inventory. Wow, there's another order just come through.
Nice.
I have more inventory, area to store the more popular colors, right? Especially when it's water dog season, that's a problem because I sell water dogs in every color. I mean, everybody buys, different
Well, I was gonna
colors.
say that's got to be like the biggest problem in actually selling every color is that you basically have to shoot every order as it comes in. It's gonna be hard to stock. Like you could stock your top 10, but like, oh, woof.
Like, for example, in the water dog and the wacky worm and all the worms, for example, the watermelon reds, the green pumpkins, the black royales, those type of colors, I plan on having at least, say 10 to 20 bags worth of inventory, on hand so I can just go grab it if I need it. And then whatever scent they want, I scent it up, put it in the bag, and
you've got scent. Oh my god.
Yeah, then you got the scents on top of that. Yeah. So it's a lot more work to it, but for me, it's I like doing it this way. That's why I don't want to get into a big production type. You
don't feel like shooting 22,000 water dogs all in your version of watermelon red with bacon?
No, not really. I mean, I don't want to have like a big staff of people to support and stuff. I want to be able to, keep me busy and and so far I've been pretty lucky that, if I get an order within 72 hours, it's out the door.
Gotcha.
Okay. I've been back up a bit this past, week and a half here because of the weather. And then also I just got a huge influx of water dog orders, some guys, they don't even know what the hell the water looks like for another 2 months, but they're getting ready, right? So they're placing their orders now, and some, I call them up and say, hey, I can't get this out, and they'll say, don't worry about it, just ship it to me when you can. I still got 2 months to go, right? But I try to get things out the door in about 72 hours on average to people. So here's another one from Texas.
Well, that's amazing. It sounds like 3 people in Texas are going to be getting orders probably by Tuesday. So
you guys got 72 hours for fulfillment.
This show because they're ordering a bag of water dogs, what I call a mystery bag of dinglings. So if you saw that on the website, a mystery bag is nothing more than let's just say there's 10 dinglings in a bag, right?
Yeah.
Well, I put 10 different colors of dinglings in there. And I don't discriminate. I just go grab one, throw it in there. So it's a mystery to me and it's a mystery to you, right? But it gives somebody who's never ordered from me a chance to try out different colors, right?
Yeah.
They also ordered salamander in Big Dog Silver Melon. Surprising. That's pretty common.
There you go. They're probably watching.
Yeah, and the saltworm. 5.75 saltworm. So I appreciate it, guys.
It's like everything you've shown.
That's really the way it works when I do the Facebook Lives too, right? Yeah. As soon as it's over, boom, I start getting an order for a color, that I haven't shot in a while for an order, and it's like, all of a sudden I get an influx of orders like that. But it's all good. It's something I keep, and guess what? Here comes another order.
All right. Well, you definitely.
I tell you what, man. Somebody's watching. Here's some guy from Virginia ordering a bag of water dogs and a bag of salamanders.
There you go. So let's do this real quick for the people in chat right now. If they're on your website right now, what are like a couple of baits that you would recommend from? And then we're going to actually run a giveaway that is sponsored by Monster Bass. This show is sponsored by Monster Bass. As you guys know, we work with them a ton. They are fantastic to us. They take good care of us. And we're going to give away a $25 gift card good to monsterbass.com. So you guys can use that. But before we roll that giveaway and we do our slow rolling thunder round, which we didn't prep you for, Jim, but it's okay because you don't need any prep. It's just going to be fun. What are a few baits that they should be looking out for? Maybe a few colors on your website. Give us some recommendations.
Okay, so if you're like here in the South where you got a lot of stained or heavily stained water, right? The darker colors work the best, right? So for me, even though This color may look a little dark. It's actually a smoke, and this is in a bait called the weed beater. It's got a. Let me bring it up closer here.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. The way I fish this guy is punching heavy cover. I put it on 65-pound braid, but this is a bluegill color. But when you look at it, it is translucent. It is a smoke, but it's deceiving. You know, when you see it, right? So for anybody that's fishing stained, you know, the heavily stained water, the black royale, the black grape. Oh man, it's wow.
You're in Michigan. You need to buy the
big
triple
dog silver
thread.
melon. Yeah, the big dog silver melon, right? It works in just about any of them. Now, if you're in Florida, you know, very clear water, like say up in Lake Murray in Oklahoma, up there, you know, just north of me. I have I have two colors, by the way. One is called Florida, which is nothing but clear, and it's 3 different strings. Okay.
Oh, wow.
When you see it, you'll know what I mean. Okay. So one day I was trying to be creative. Wow, I don't have it here. Let me get a sprue so I can show you. I have a color that I created with the same thing in mind, and I call it autumn. And let me show you why. So this is autumn.
Nice.
Okay. It's a clear with 3 different string glitters in it.
Yeah.
Orange, copper, and chartreuse. Okay, the Florida is the same way, and I don't have any Florida, but you know what makes a really good craw color also is another Big Dog Shane Moore color that we developed, and this is called Big Dog Blue.
Oh, nice.
This is in the beta craw. Yeah. It's a really, you can definitely see it on this bait here. This one is the curly tail grub. Okay.
That's not
I
a
do
grub,
have an
bro. That's a boat.
I do have an 8-inch version of this grub.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. So those kind of colors, you know, work really good on
Clear water.
You know, clear, you know, type clear type water. You know, any of the greens I have are beautiful baits, colors for the senior frog and the atomic toad, the salamander, right? If you Google water dog, just Google it and look at the pictures. You'll find every shape and size and color of a water dog, right? And they vary, even here in Texas, they vary from one lake to another, right? So that's why my water dogs, I sell them in every single color all the time.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, one favorite or another where, like say the worms, for example, you sell a lot of green pumpkin, right? Or something like that. No, the water dogs, I sell them in every color.
I feel like the water dog's an issue for you. You got to get maybe you could just like say, maybe you can get your wife just to shoot the water dogs and then you can do everything else. Because I feel like that's a job
You
in and of itself. Like you need a
the only thing my
whole.
wife does is she holds her nose when she's walking through the garage. That's why
She like
goes,
runs through.
Yeah, she's like, but you know, she's a trooper. I mean, she takes all the orders to the post office whenever I need it, or if I need her to go pick up something for me. Like today, you guys may be able to see it right here. This is I just got this last night. It's from a local guy here named Kyle Dunsmore from Fishing All Out.
Yep.
And it's a dual-headed tube cutter. Okay, so I can put 2 tubes in here, and I got a foot pedal down here, and it cuts them, right?
Nice.
So I needed a C clamp or something like that, you know, to hold it onto the table here. And you know, she'll run to the store and get them for me, and then she'll, you know, 99% of the time she's FaceTiming me back. Like, is this the one you want? You know, just to make sure. But
That's a standard issue problem.
Yeah, and so one of the other things that, you know, I learned in this business is, you know, and you guys will see the bags, right? The pre-printed bags.
Yep.
So I had to buy like 10,000 of these from China, right? And they screwed it up, right? The inside dimensions is what's supposed to be the full size of the bag.
Yep.
Right? Well, so what I started doing was I just started buying, you know, the clear bags. I took the design of the pre-printed bag and put it on the label here. And so as I can phase out, there you can see the label.
Yep.
As I can phase out these pre-printed bags, eventually everybody will be getting this bag, but some guys are getting them anyway because the bigger baits won't fit in the little.
Yeah, you're getting these ones, and you got to jam these ones in because they gave you the inside dimension as the entire dimension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally makes sense.
Yeah, and so, but I'm stuck with 10,000 bags. I think I'm down to about 4,000 now. But so what I'm doing right now is, for the stores, I'm putting everything in these new bags so that it's consistent, right, for the stores. And then for the online orders and stuff, I'm trying to use up these bags as best I can.
Gotcha.
For the smaller baits, and then the bigger baits, I'm putting them into the bigger bags and stuff. So that's something new, that I'm working on. And like I said, I've got another craw mold coming in this week, and I've got a claw mold for it. So I'll be able to do, custom claws for it as well. And so I'll have 3 different craws. Molds to as an offering, and then I've got on the crappie side. Well, I got some here on the wall right here. This is a little grub, right? And this is done with that. This color is called Green Envy with the chartreuse. Okay.
I like
and then I have, I have another one here. It's called. I don't have. Oh yeah, I do. Called Nemo.
There it is.
Anything else to call it?
The Nemo.
But there's Nemo.
That's going to be
in the Frankenbait. There's Nemo in a Frankenbait.
I want that. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We got to. People are getting restless. We got to do the giveaway.
We got to do our slow rolling thunder round. So hey, chat, you know what's up. Type something in chat. That's how you enter. Bonus points for your best hashtag. Insert color name here, dingling. I'd love to see a million of those. And we're gonna roll the chat here in a couple of questions. We got some fun questions for Jim that are kind of off topic, just for funsies. And if you win, then you're just gonna follow the instructions on the screen. You'll say, "Hi, I exist" in chat, so we know you're real and that you're claiming your prize. And then you're going to message Chaz, aka the man behind the screen. Yeah, I said your name for real. I don't know. You were shocked by that. I was shocked that I said it.
What are you talking about?
Because I do a business podcast with him tomorrow morning. So I know I try to. So you know what? I'm sorry, guys. Anyways, so you follow the instructions. You'll send your stuff over to Chaz, not Chad, and then he will take care of you. Okay. So let's do this thing. Paul, what are the questions?
All right. So we've got some fun questions for you. There are no wrong answers.
Just less right ones.
Just less and more right ones. So here we go. The first one, this was something that I actually was thinking about myself. What is your biggest, and this could be a problem, just anything that ticks you off, but what is your biggest fishing pet peeve? Like something that just like bothers you, maybe that you do or that happens when you're out fishing. And I know what mine is. I really want to say it. That's why this question exists.
Everybody knows ours.
Well, depends on the lake, but we used to live in Austin, right? And we used to go over to Lake Travis and go fishing there. Certain times I hated going there because it was really a boater's lake more than anything else. But a lot of the tournament trails go through there, including the elites and stuff. But the guys that get on there with their jet skis is probably my biggest.
Oh, really?
Because
That's a good one. That's a good one.
They would just, you're sitting there at the mouth of a little cove, right? And they would just come right by you. The next thing you know, you're sitting there, doing this stuff, rocking back and forth because they don't care. They're just,
they're out for the fun.
Yeah.
We had Jeff and I, we kayak fish almost exclusively, and we got some big long kayaks. They're probably 42 inches wide and they are 14 feet long. And a guy pulling a tuber just about run us over. Then we were in like a pond, came around the other way, did his full lap, and then he almost ran us over again. And we heard his daughter go, "Dad, you have to stop. You almost hit them." So yeah, I would have to agree. That's top of my list.
100%.
I will say this: my biggest fishing pet peeve is something that I do myself, and it's when I'm wet wading and I don't know the stretch of the stream or the river that I'm on, and I walk right through unintentionally a hole that I had no idea was there, and instead of catching the fish that was waiting there for me, I just mucked it all up. That has got to be the I punch myself in the face every time I do that. It's the most frustrating thing. I don't even think it's close. Nothing makes me more upset. Fishing footwear. So when you go out, you're sounds like you're a boat guy almost
Mhm.
exclusively. So when you're out on the boat, what type of footwear are you rocking?
Actually, I have some of the Hook brand fishing kind of tennis shoe looking thing.
But hey,
They
dude,
you know they have the holes on it to let the water drain off and stuff. If you
Yep.
get wet and things. And I like wearing those because they're actually more restrictive on your feet than say a regular tennis shoe like I'm wearing now, which your feet start to kind of like slide out, right? Sideways
Spread
on
'em out,
in
yeah.
your shoe, right? This keeps it more compact. And actually, I found that when you first start wearing it, it feels a little uncomfortable. It's like, wow, these are kind of hard to get used to. But once you get out there and start fishing, it's amazing. I can be out there all day on a tournament, and I come off, and my feet aren't tired. But
That's a good answer that is fully acceptable and less right than our answer, which is Crocs, but fully acceptable. And I totally understand, and I appreciate how you backed it up.
all right.
Yeah, well, actually, a lot of times I'm wearing Crocs out here. I can't stand wearing them barefoot for whatever reason. So I just got like little ankle, athletic socks.
Crocs and socks, baby.
Crocs and socks, and I'm out here just running back now. When I'm shooting baits, you can't be in shorts and a t-shirt, which I've done. I have to admit, I got there's video proof, plenty of it out there to see me doing it. But really, you should be wearing pants and a long sleeve shirt and be covered up because
I was gonna say, is that for like professional integrity, or is that to save yourself from getting scorched?
Yeah, save yourself from being scorched because it will happen. You got to remember when I take this raw plastic, I have to heat it up to over 350 degrees.
Yeah.
For it to do the chemical, bonding and stuff that it does. So that is some very hot plastic that is going to touch your skin or whatever. And and that's one of the things I noticed, during this shutdown when you started seeing a lot of people were shooting baits that are, no longer out there. And
because they're no longer alive, or because they've scorched their kneecaps off?
Adult supervision, right? They're out there that are shooting this stuff without adult supervision, and it's like, this is not a game for kids,
Now I'm nervous because I was going to start doing this.
Well, I was here one day, and I started hearing this noise. It's like, what the heck is that? And all of a sudden, boom, big old pop. And one of my Pyrex cups actually exploded in the microwave. Yeah. I've heard of guys actually having it explode in their hand, or on the table.
I was getting so excited, and now I have to worry. Now I have to worry about third-degree burns from a Senti stick.
Don't worry,
Chad.
Paul will get the plastics out of the microwave.
I don't know what caused it to explode in the microwave, but it did. But I haven't had it happen since. And I mean, I think I wore out these two microwaves already. It's probably time to retire them, to the senior citizens home for microwaves and buy some new ones for my new shop. But I sure can't cook my my lunch in them. That's for sure.
I was just gonna ask,
not a good idea.
That's where you're wrong.
No, and what's really funny is I see guys that are shooting baits in their kitchen, and I go, wait a minute.
Well,
You're microwaving that stuff in your wife's microwave?
No, in my microwave. My wife has an air fryer. All right, so I had that.
Easy Mac tastes real weird.
All right. Last question, but before we do the last question, we're gonna run the giveaway.
Yeah, let's roll the giveaway.
Chaz, run us our winner.
The Creek Crawler.
Creek Crawler.
Friends. What's up, dude?
Well, he just said Crocs like 30 seconds ago, so we know he's probably hanging around. Creek Crawler, we are going to be more than happy to hook you up with a $25 gift card to Monster Bass. Write something in chat to the effect of your excitement, which should be wow, awesome. And then
Dinglings are great.
Dinglings are us. And then after that, what we're going to ask you to do is follow the instructions on the screen, and we are going to hook you up with that gift card. Oh, yep. See, that was good. Perfect. Nailed it.
I'll do you one better. Do another drawing, and I will give away a bag of. I'll do a mystery bag, right? So you get a little sampling of all of them. I'll do a mystery bag of water dogs and the 5-inch dinglings. Right.
All right.
5-inch
so you guys
dingling.
just send me that person's name and address and phone number and stuff, and I will. I'll put them in the mail to them. So.
And he's hooking you up with a water dog, which we know is a smoking hot commodity. So
yeah, what have we been talking about the entire night? You know, the water dog and the dinglings.
All right, so last.
I'll send out a bag of water dogs and dinglings to somebody that you guys draw.
Awesome, man. Well, we really appreciate that. So, Chaz, let's draw another name, and congrats to Creek Crawler. Make sure you follow those instructions. Next winner is Greg Whitaker. Gosh dang, we have his address. We'll ship it over to you. Gosh dang it.
All right, Gregory Whitaker
and stuff, and I'll send those out tomorrow.
Appreciate it, man. And
it might not be tomorrow. It'll be Saturday probably, but I'll try to get them out tomorrow.
Greg can wait. Greg's fine. He's a longtime listener. Great dude. We love him. But yeah, we'll take care of you, Greg. Appreciate it. So yeah, let's go. Last question.
We still have our last question. I want to get it out there. So our last question, probably the most important one that you're gonna answer in this entire podcast.
Mm-hmm. This is life or death, by the way, Jim.
It is
so you know.
for me. When you go fishing, you're gonna go out. You're gonna do some angling. When you go out to do some angling and you decide to wear like some sort of a sun protection shirt, right? Like an SPF fishing shirt, like one of those thin deals. Okay. Do you like to have on your fishing shirt? Do you like to have a hood attached to it, or do you not like to have attached to it? Like, what's your preference, hood or no hood on your fishing shirt?
Depends on the day in Texas, because we get some really hot, days where but I usually have a gator on. But if I've got some of the jerseys with the hood, like he's talking about there too. So it's because when I go out,
let's say you're gonna go to the bar. Let's say you're going out and you're stuck with you can only choose 2 fishing shirts. You got the one with the hood and the one without the hood. Which one are you grabbing?
No hood.
Chaz, is that a valid tally here?
I mean, it's like,
leading the witness.
I don't care what I look like. When I'm on the water, I don't care what I look like.
I love it. There it is. All right.
When I'm on the water, because of the extreme heat that we get here, I mean, I am fully covered. I have a long sleeve version of this, and they're jerseys that I wear. I wear the gloves, and I usually have a neck gaiter on, or I have one of those full ones with the head head part on it. But to me, it's kind of restrictive. But I like to stay completely covered up because after being out there 8 hours, you come in, it's like you feel so exhausted, and it's like, oh crap, I got to drive 3 hours from Lake Fork back home, and I'm feeling, sunburned and hot. So I always stay covered up all the time.
Iron Man. So. I have straight up walked home, tried to walk my dog, and threw up because I was so dehydrated. So now I only drink like Gatorades, and I save a Gatorade in the water for the drive home.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's I have a pair of those hook fishing pants, right? The quick dry, pants, and that's what I wear most of the time, weather permitting, of course. It's too cold to wear those right now, but for the rest of the year, that's what I usually do is wear, long sleeve jersey stuff, and that's some stuff I'm planning to add to my website too. Is some neck gaiters with the logo on it, and I want to get the hoodies, right? A really nice hoodie with the logo and stuff on it made up. Matter of fact, I have, this is a, one of two, boat carpets that, that I had made up. The one you can see on the website. This one I just got the other day, and I haven't put it up there. But it's the same as the little decals that I give away, with every order. But this is for your boat, right? For the boat carpet.
Oh yeah. Okay. Nice. I dig it.
So, I'm going to add this up to the website pretty soon. Just haven't had time, and like I said, we're trying to move into the new shop, so I'm way behind on a lot of those little things. But
you got priorities, man. We totally get it.
But that's
good. Yeah, the waterlogged orders come first.
Yeah, no, I got you. All right, man. Well, hey, we really appreciate your time tonight. We know you got some orders.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of fun. Hope we can do it again once I moved into the shop. That way, you guys can see the big wide open spaces and and all that kind of stuff. And it ought to be a lot of fun once you get moved in there and settled in and get everything going. So
definitely. All right. Well, awesome, man. Hey, real quick, where can everybody find you other than we got, just Google search BFO Baits? We posted the website a whole bunch of times.
BFOBaits.com is a website. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram. I think on Instagram it's actually called BFO Admin. I could not get BFO Baits to work for whatever reason. It was kind of weird.
Gotcha.
And I also have a TikTok. I just started doing TikTok recently.
Okay.
And it's out there, but mostly it's Facebook. My personal Facebook page where I do a lot of the videos from actually is called JD Covington. So it's JD Covington is the personal Facebook, that I use a lot because the business page, when you try to do Facebook Lives, it acts differently for some reason, and but yeah, they can follow me out there as well, and.
We just shared all your links, so they're live in the chat.
Yeah, we just posted it in the chat. Thank you, Chaz, for doing that. So yeah, you guys go check out BFO Bait. Stay tuned for all the cool stuff that Jim here is making. Tons of cool scents, lots of custom stuff. You can do your own custom orders. Just different like molds that you're not really seeing anybody else producing, and completely unique colors. So there you go. You got some stuff to go pick up. Go pick them up.
Thanks, Rocka Blades.
Yeah, thanks Rocka Blades for introducing us, and thank your wife for the hats, because Copper Truce hat. That's what's up. All right, you guys, that's all we got for tonight.
Actually, but where's
we're coming up with what it is. But I'm a big fan of Rocka Blades. He's been sending us baits for a long time. He's an awesome dude. All right, so for tonight, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us, chat. You guys are awesome, beautiful nerds. As always, we'll be back next Thursday with our buddy Online Outdoorsman. He's coming back to the show, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah.
And on
Tuesday, like I said, guys, I'll be at the Mid-South Boat Hunting and Fishing Show in Grove, Oklahoma. Next Friday through Sunday. So if you guys are in the area, stop by that show, and we'll have a big booth there.
There you go. Check them out, you guys. Members, come join us Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, Tuesday the 15th. We'll see you there. It's going to be a blast. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. Subscribe, do the things that you always do because you're awesome. People's elbow, the notification bell, and we'll see you guys on Thursday. Members, we'll see you on Tuesday. Chaz, pick us out of here.
Took a swing at a wrecking ball and I prayed for my downfall, and I found a way to reconcile, 'cause in my heart it's not worthwhile. It's a bloody battlefield where some go down, others heal. In the end it's all the same. All you can do is play the game. Oh, do we say goodbye? Refuse to question why. I deserve to say I'm sorry, so lie. Pretend that you're okay. Swear that you will stay. Keep trying for one day. I'm sick of all these lies. my feet and forced me down a dead-end street when all I had went up in flames, burning only dark remains. I cover up every part of my skin, oh, 'cause I don't like the person within, oh. I know I'm the one to blame. All I can do is take the shame, oh. Do we say goodbye? Refuse to question why. I'm too sad